Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some food in you. Step three.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Create Obsession. I thought I would do a fun video and show you how to crochet these really cute amigurumi flowers. They are made with two different kinds of yarn, but same pattern. So stick around if you want to learn how to make these. All right, here is everything that I ended up using to create the amigurumi flower. You've got the yellow center, the pink for the petals, but whatever color is your preference. I've got the amigurumi eyes and a piece of cloth that I'm actually using to help further secure the eyes, scissors, tapestry needle, and I've got a 3.75 hook, but honestly, whatever works for you when it comes to little amigurumi is perfect. So this is what you need to get started. All right, we're starting out with a magic circle, and then we're gonna single crochet into it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you've got the circle, you're gonna pull it tight, and we're gonna connect them back with a slip stitch. Now that you've got this, we're gonna go ahead and chain 1, turn back. And I do a turn on every single row. It creates a little bit extra, I guess you could say. It changes up the way that the stitches look so they're not all uniform. So we're gonna chain 1, turn back, and this first little thing you see going on here, we're actually gonna skip over that because that is part of the slip stitch. So we're going into the next one, and you know this because when you count your stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there are 6 before you come back around. So just make sure you skip that first part and go into that first actual stitch, and we're gonna single crochet 2 into every stitch. Again, when you come back around, we're gonna do the slip stitch, chain 1 and turn back. That should be 12. Remember skipping over that first one that looks like a stitch, but it's not. Now we're gonna crochet 2 into the first one. So 1, 2, and then we're gonna do double every second. Now that you've come to the end of that row, again, do the slip stitch. If you need to mark these, you can. The cotton yarn makes it really easy for me to identify what I'm looking for. And just to show you, you can see clearly now the rain is, that is what I'm looking for. That's not really a stitch. You can see my stitches start right there, and I'm looking for this that is not a stitch. And that's what I'm going into because that was the prior chain 1. And then I'll do another chain 1, and now we are going to double the first. Remember, turn back, always turn back. Double the first, 1, 2, and now we're gonna double every third, I guess. Yeah, because we're doing 2 singles and then doubling the third. All right, we're gonna do a slip stitch to join that back together to that chain 1. Do another chain 1, and remember we're turning back. Now after that row, you should have 24 stitches. You can count them. Hopefully you have 24 because I do. And then we're gonna move on to doing single crochet 1 into every stitch, so another 24. Okay, we've come to the end of that row. Again, we're doing a slip stitch at the top of the previous chain stitch, joining those 2 together, chaining 1. All right, now this is where we're gonna start decreasing using an invisible decrease stitch, and I would prefer that the invisible side look invisible on the outside. So to do that, I will show you on my handy dandy thing. To do the invisible decrease, we are going to be, remember, skipping that first little bit that looks like it could be something, but it is nothing. So it's actually the next top. We're gonna pick that up. Well, you're gonna pick it up as best as you can. See? And now we're gonna pick up the top of the next one. And we're only doing the front loops on these, so ignore the back loops. And now we're going to pull through that one, the next one, and we're just doing a regular single crochet. So we joined the first two together, one invisible decrease. Now we're moving on to the next stitch. We're gonna do a single crochet. 1, 2, and again we're gonna do an invisible decrease on this one. So remember, we're picking up the front loops only that are facing out towards what's going to be the outside. So it hides that bulkier portion on the inside. So we're picking those up. We're doing pull through, just regular single crochet. And you can see the inside looks a little different and the outside should look just like a normal single crochet. Can you see? And then once you get back to here, obviously we're gonna do another slip stitch to join the row back together and chain 1. Now this is the moment where we're gonna stop and we're gonna place the eyes. I recommend pulling this center tight, and then once you have it closed up like you want, I'm just gonna go ahead and tie it off. And you can leave it like that, or you can cut it off just a little bit. But remember, this is going on the inside, so it doesn't really matter. And from my viewpoint, I have placed them 1, 2 rows out. So this is the first with the 6, so I'm placing it somewhere along the 12, the row with 12 single crochet. And I just like to place mine somewhere around the center and just going straight across for the other one. Not counting here, I'm just looking. So that's what it looks like. And I think that's really nice. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the back on. And now your eyes are perfectly in. So I'm moving on. I go back to what I was doing, which is sealing it up. So the last row that we did, we were decreasing every third. This one we're gonna decrease every second. Starting with the first one. So this one, remember, we want the outside to be pretty, so we're picking up the front 2 loops facing you this time. And we're doing a decrease stitch. There's 1. Wow. There's 1. Now sometimes it's hard to see, but just make sure that you're skipping that one that you did the decrease, and we're doing a single. So we're just alternating between single crochet and a decrease stitch right now. And then once you come back around, we are going to do the slip stitch to join the row back together and chain 1. Now this is the point where I recommend go ahead and stuffing your little guy. All right, and now we're gonna just decrease every 2 together. Now once you've done the last row, you should have 6 single crochet, and we are just going to sew it up by picking up 1 piece of yarn all the way around in that circle and then pulling it taut. And then I'm just going to tie it off. And weave everything in. If you've got some gaps and holes, you can go ahead and fill it in now. Okay, once you have your circle filled in all the way, and maybe you've closed in some other holes, we are going to start on the actual composition of the flower petals. To crochet the flower petals, I am looking for the outside border, the 1, 2, 3, 4th ring from the circle. This is the row that we're going to be inserting. It's going to be between the 2 rows of 24. So this is the row 24 and this one was 24 as well. And we're gonna crochet directly into the middle of that. Let's go ahead and insert it here. I want this one to be a flower petal in the middle. So off, flower petal, off. This is a flower petal. So then I'm gonna go ahead and grab the yarn that we're going to be creating the petals with. I will pull it through until you see this. You wanna make sure that the eyes are on the side facing you. And then we're gonna chain 1, 2, 3. Wrap twice, and we're going to do 3 triple or treble crochet into here. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then we're going to chain 1, 2, 3. Insert it back into the same stitch. Pull it all the way through and do a slip stitch. And then we're going to look for the next space. And we're going to do a slip stitch. And again, you always want to make sure that the eyes are facing you. And then we're going to move on to the next one, and we're going to do the same petal repeat again. So chain 1, 2, 3, or do a triple or treble crochet. Three times. Chain 1, 2, 3, do a slip stitch. Next space is a slip stitch. And you just keep repeating that pattern all the way around. So when you're done, what you'll end up having is 12 petals and 12 slip stitch spaces. All right, once you come to your last slip stitch, you're gonna wanna just cut it off and tie it there. But what you will want to do is go ahead and pop the hook through from the back side and grab onto this yarn. I'm gonna pull that taut and pull it through to the back. And what that does is it finishes all of the slip stitches on the front. So then all you have to do is go to the back. We're gonna pull that little guy. All right, make sure we get it nice and good. I'm gonna go ahead and cut him off maybe right here. Take your yarn right here, and then you can pull it through all the way. Tighten it up, tie it. And if you wanted to tie the beginning one to it as well, you could go ahead and do that. Just like that. And now you are officially done with your tiny little piece. And if you want to go ahead and add a keychain, I am going to do that for me. Thanks so much for watching. That is it for this tutorial. Leave a comment below if you want to add something, and like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Single out, single